Namaste. Welcome and greetings. I am Magick Require. It's gonna stop a virus. No. This
Got y'all listening now. Some witchcraft for that ass. Too late to turn away. Abracadabra and all that good shit. Yo. Hocus pocus, got you focused on my rhyme. Simply easy, now I'm eating couch potatoes, I recline. No, I'm joking as I'm toking power puffs and pokey yokes. Till my town and villa filled with ganja smoke, you know the dope. Coming out my pipes, talking about the bones in my throat. With the mic, I'm casting curses every night, you know the scope. Got my spells handy. You may call it the phone, but when I'm done reciting, you'll give me the keys to the throne. Then I'll take my keys to go home. Didn't say I was done. While rush to end it all, it feels amazing to have won. I'm not planning to ball, but why not take the chance to stunt? No, I don't need it all. Can think for thing I don't want. Do I worship the sun? Or sold my soul for the tongue? Or death since I was young? Or got some voodoo done?
Namaste, namastizzle, peace and blessings. And everything. Welcome. Please help me welcome back to the stage Queena Swordz, aka Swordz Witch. What's up, Queen?
What's up? You can hear me?
Namaste, Edward. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. What's going on? How's the weather there in New York?
It's good out here, man. It's good out here. Stop bitching and start witching. The weather has been like in the 70s. Yeah, stop bitching and start witching. That's my
right. It's storming here, actually.
Yeah, it was 70-something degrees today.
How? What? It was like 70-something degrees?
Yeah.
Okay. What's up, Brother Moore? Just the person I wanted to see. Also, Brother Moore, please. I sent you an email. Please respond to that when you can. I'd appreciate that. All right. So we was here last week chopping it up. Yes. We didn't get to a whole lot of stuff that we had originally spoken about, but what you think about all the distractions that's going on, like from the Pope, Shannon Sharp? All these distractions are happening.
I mean, to me, it's like entertainment. I don't take it serious, but it's that's the whole idea, to distract you from your inner self, your inner world. So that's the real world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You don't get distracted. Pay attention to your inner world.
Yeah. You had any astrals? I mean, like interest in astrals lately since we last spoke? You always had interest in them.
Yes, I did. Actually, last night, I was in New Orleans. I was in New Orleans in the astral realm, and I met somebody that I know there. And I was at a station called St. Joseph Street. And he got off the train, and I was like, "Oh, you finally came to visit." And we was looking at this graveyard, like across the street, like not too far away from us. We was looking at a graveyard, and he was like, "That's the graveyard you was talking about?" And my response was, "Yeah, but that's not where all the tourists go." Okay, so fast forward. When I woke up and I looked up the same location, it actually exists. It actually exists, St. Joseph Street. Close to the graveyard. So I actually was there last night with my friend, but I didn't even know it existed until I looked it up. St. Joseph Street.
Wow.
And there's a graveyard, like we was there the whole time, and I thought that was interesting because I always asked my friend to come visit New Orleans with me. For years I've been telling him, but in the astral realm, he came, and the location actually exists. And I've never been there before in this room. I thought that was interesting.
Were you lucid? Like, were you aware?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was aware. Yeah. I was aware. But I didn't know the place existed in this realm until I Googled it. There's actually a place called St. Joseph Street, close to a graveyard, and we were by the graveyard. But we didn't go inside the graveyard. I was just showing him the graveyard, and I was shocked when I saw that it actually existed. And
You still are able to get, you're still able to be surprised and shocked when stuff like this happens, huh?
Yeah, because I actually dream about, I actually astral project or dream about, I don't like using the word dream because I know we really traveling. Because when people hear dream, they thinking it's fake. But I actually went somewhere that I didn't know exists in real life, like in this life.
Right.
But when I Googled it, and you know what's amazing? The name of the graveyard was the name of my friend. They had the same name. Yes, and he guessed it, and I didn't even tell him the name of the graveyard. I was like, guess what's the name of the graveyard? And he was like, St. Paul. And I'm like, that's the name of the graveyard. I'm like, oh shit. Like because I keep telling him, did you remember? And he was like, nah, I don't remember. And I'm like, yo, you was there because we continue a conversation we had in this realm. So, but he didn't remember. But I remembered. This happened like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool because I love you.
That's real cool. I mean, I've told people, I haven't said it in a while, but I said I've been all over the world and I've been all over the United States, right? And the fact that there's not been one single place that I've been that I hadn't already saw before I got there. You see what I mean? I had traveled.
Are you talking about in the astral?
Yeah. I've seen, you know, like deja vu, what they call deja vu.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's happened. Every single place I had seen it already prior to me being there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that was so amazing. Like I Googled it, and the graveyard was really close to St. Joseph Street. And he got off on St. Joseph Street, and we were looking at this exact graveyard.
Okay.
And I was pointing it out to him, saying, "Yeah, that's where." I was even telling him people hang out in there.
Okay.
I don't know if they do in third dimension, but I told him that in the dream. So because I heard people hanging out in the graveyard while I was there.
Wow, interesting, very interesting. All right, a couple shouts out. Edward, peace. Peace, Sister Righteous, Divine Peace, Caribbean Grimoire, peace, Chikezi, peace, Noom Ra, and she says, he or she says, Goddess, you stay on the move. Peace to Brother Kunami, peace, Nega Mocha Lady, interesting name, Legacy Sigma, peace and blessing. What's up? You know what I mean? One of the things that we wanted to address the last time we spoke was following instructions. Remember we had that conversation?
Oh yeah. Following instructions. We were talking about, like, for example, when you go to a witch or a practitioner or a voodoo guy, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
When you go to people like that for help, it's like going to the doctor. It's the same thing. It's like a witch doctor, regular doctor is the same thing.
Right.
They have to first listen to your problem and diagnose you. Right? It's like you being diagnosed. So just like a doctor, you have to follow the instructions. If we tell you do a chant every Friday at 7, you got to do what? You got to follow the instructions. If they tell you put 2 drops in somebody thing and you only put 1, you're not following instructions.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you go to the doctor, you do follow instructions, right? You do exactly what the doctor said. If the doctor said take the pill at 5 every Tuesday, you take the pill at 5 every Tuesday for it to work. It's not going to work if you don't follow the instructions. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why
do you think this like so difficult for people to do that though? You know, because a lot of us as practitioners, I know I've had this issue. I mean, it's still ongoing. You know, I can tell people, like, this one case I had where I told her, block this guy who was kind of stalking her. I said, block this guy on the phone and everywhere where he can find you. And she never did it. And so it got worse. The situation got worse no matter what I was doing. And then I finally was like, did you block him like I said? And she said, well, you know, I feel like he he knows what I'm doing and he's in my dreams. I said, fuck all that. Just block him like I told you. So she ended up, long story short, she ended up blaming me for the situation getting worse. You know, not following instructions.
Yeah, I've had the same experience where this young girl, her apartment was haunted. And the guy that was haunting her was a guy she used to mess with that unalived himself.
Really?
Yeah, he unalived himself. So he was messing with her in her dreams, trying to have sex with her in the dream. You know, like her son will see him. He will be in the kitchen or stuff like that. So I went to her apartment to help her get rid of the energy, to send him off. My job was to send him off. So I told her, you got to clean your kitchen, because that's why the spirits are in the kitchen. They like the kitchen because look at your kitchen. Her kitchen was cluttered.
Was it?
It was so cluttered. She had mail from like 20 years ago stacked up, old mail open. That's what I mean by cluttered, you know, and her kitchen was dirty. So when she cleaned the kitchen, you could tell when the air got lighter, but the spirit was still inside her apartment. So come to find out, she still had his clothes in the house, and she didn't tell me at that time.
She ain't tell you.
Yeah, like she still was attached to him. And I'm like, you know, I was looking at her like, you got to burn the clothes. You got to why you have his clothes in your apartment?
Right.
Like, come on, you trying to get help, but you still holding on to clothes and pictures. That's why you're getting haunted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've had people that follow everything I said, and everything manifests in less than a week because they followed everything I said. Like I coached this guy one time, and he followed he wanted to switch jobs. Right. And he followed everything I said, and he was able to switch job before the next Monday.
That's what's up. And
it sounded impossible, but I told him, follow everything I say.
Right.
I will say stuff like this: go to work late.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, you sure? I'm like, trust me, go to work late every day.
Okay.
And when they say why, you say this. And he was doing he was like, I'm gonna get fired. I'm like, trust me, you're not gonna get fired. But he listened to everything he keep annoying them so much, they transfer him. I was like, I told you, that's all you have to
do. All right.
You know what I mean? He followed my instructions and it worked. And he was scared to do it. He was like, if I go to work late, I'm like, trust me, you're not gonna get fired.
Wow.
So he have to trust me the same way you trust a doctor.
Right.
You trust a doctor to take them birth control pills every day. So
right.
You know,
trust. I had a person actually admit to me that they had a really hard time believing that any of this stuff worked. Why the fuck did you hire me then? You know what I mean? So I mean, it's important, you know. And we got a question in the chat, and I think it's what's up, Bobby? Bobby says, does this doctor explain the reason behind doing this if the patient asks, or will he or she get short on patients, as in what is prescribed?
Go back to the question again. Let me see it.
Does the doctor, meaning us, I think it means the person.
Does the doctor explain the reason behind doing this if the patient asks? Most people don't ask. If you're talking about them real doctors, most of them don't ask why. Why should I take vitamin D? Some people, for example, they don't ask why, but you should ask questions. I think you should ask questions.
I would think you should ask the doctor plenty of questions.
Yeah, because you can't. If you lying to the doctor, he might give you the wrong prescription.
Right. There you go.
It's just like a witch doctor. Exactly. If you lie, like the lady lied and didn't tell me that the clothes was inside the apartment still.
Exactly.
And I'm like, and mind you, this guy came back with more dead people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came back with more. That's what they do. They will bring more people for you to help them too. But this guy knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he wasn't alive. Mm-hmm. He purposely was picking on her. It was a Jamaican guy, actually.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I actually had another case that popped up. This had to be 10 years plus ago, where I told this woman what to do. She wanted this guy real bad. I probably said this before. She wanted this guy real bad, right? So after she did the ritual, 15 minutes later, she called the guy. And then he blocked her.
That sounds desperate. Desperate.
I'm like, why did you do that? Why? 15 minutes.
15 minutes. That she think is like a movie. And may I add, when you're doing stuff like that with people or for people, it's best to do it while they're asleep. It's best to do it while the person is asleep, I think, because it's easy to put an idea in somebody's mind while they're sleeping, just like the movie Inception. Yeah, from my experience and from what I noticed, when the person is asleep, you could whisper in their ears a mile away.
Yes. Certain practitioners of old actually suggest that. There's a whole memoir of I can't remember the name offhand, but the rituals have to be performed when you think the person is asleep. Yeah,
like 3, 4, 5, like at least.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we're all connected. So if you're whispering, they're gonna hear you in their sleep.
Right.
We're all connected mentally. We're all it's all mental.
Everything's mind. Exactly.
The universe is mental. Yeah.
Exactly. Bobby, I hope we answered your questions. I would think, like I said, there's people out here who put their complete faith in doctors and lawyers. Don't ask any questions. But when it comes to us occult practitioners, it seems like it's the exact opposite.
And mind you, the people that they listen to is giving them information that will destroy them.
Yeah.
Because most of the stuff the doctor doing is going to make you worse, so you could keep coming back.
Exactly. But see, a lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people.
But all you got to do is pay attention. Are you getting better taking all them pills or worse?
And most people have so many side effects.
I've worked in the health field, so I know what I'm talking about. I've worked in health field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Katrina says 3 a.m. the witching hour. That's actually probably the best time.
Yeah, they even have books that talk about this where they said that that's the best time late at night. You're more open to suggestion because when you're sleeping, your hearing is still active. That's the only thing that's not dormant. So you could hear everything that's going on while you're sleeping. That's why it's not good to leave the TV on and things like that.
Right. You're taking in all that stuff.
Yeah, taking in all that stuff.
Yeah. That's not like I think we was talking and about going to court. I think we was talking about that. I had a woman who actually didn't just show up to. She hired me, and court cases are real complex because there's more than one person. You know what I'm saying? It's very complex. But this person actually just didn't show up.
Yeah, so you gotta follow instruction because you see, guys, when you follow the instructions, that's actually a part of the ritual.
Right.
The ritual is you making the movement. So when your subconscious mind see you making that movement, the subconscious mind gonna be like, oh, we gotta get this, we gotta manifest this right away. They're actually making the move. It's like the subconscious mind is seeing you making that move. Like, okay.
Right.
It's just like if you're looking for a lover, you can't stay in the house all day.
Perfect example. Yes.
How you gonna meet the person if you're in the house all day? You gotta take action. You can't just sit. It's not like a movie where you sit. You gotta play the role like an actor.
Right.
It's just like being an actor.
Right.
When you play the role, it manifests faster for you when you follow. It's just like the doctor. If you take the medication for 1 week straight, the antibiotic, for example, the infection will go away. But if you skip a few steps, the infection is gonna stay longer.
Exactly.
It is. It's going to stay longer.
Yes. And people do lie to us. They
lie. Trust me. Almost everybody I met lied to me.
Right. Exactly.
And they be thinking you don't know too. Sometimes they be.
I know, right? I think they think they're going to get a better outcome by withholding information.
I drop them when they do that.
It got so bad one time. I was getting a lot of clients, and it got so bad one time I had to put in a disclaimer on my website, which I want to actually share with y'all. I actually want to show you how bad it has gotten. Yeah, I had to put
it. They quit to listen to the white man them do it.
Right. Here's my website. Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you interfere with any working done on your behalf, I reserve the right to terminate further service. This includes not following any advice given, nor instructions followed, or trying to micromanage how I go about the working. I also reserve the right to exercise extreme prejudice for anyone who reneges on any payments that we agree on. This is for my protection. Okay? So on and so on. So yeah, I had to put that disclaimer on my website. Like, hey, please read my disclaimers on my website.
I actually stopped doing it because I was so annoyed.
You stopped what?
Because I still do it, but I got off I stopped like promoting like that because I got so annoyed because they be like, sometimes they come around you trying to bag you.
Yeah.
I'm talking about women too, not just guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that practice recommended for defense and offensive practices in clients?
Yeah.
Is that practice recommended?
What practice are they talking about?
Is that practice recommended for defense and offensive practice? Can you reword, Brother Moore? Can you reword?
You see, when it comes to black magic and voodoo, there's no such thing as good and evil. It's what you do with it.
Right.
It's just like the wind. I could use the wind for evil and I could use the wind for good. I could use fire for evil and I could use fire for good. Does that mean fire is evil? No, it just is. It's up to you what you want to do with the information.
I always say that black and white magic is those are just terms.
If you choose to be evil all day, that's just how you are to the core. Right. That's just who you are.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's certain things I won't do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to help somebody rape somebody. That's something I'm not going to do. You know what I mean? I'm not going to unalive. I can't believe I said that, but
you can say the word unalive, but don't say the D word because that's the word that they stop us.
Exactly. That's why I said it. So it's certain stuff that I won't do though, but unaliving someone.
I would never help somebody try to get a guy that don't want them.
Right. I
think you're pathetic if you come at me like that.
Not pathetic.
I really do. I'll be looking at them like pathetic.
Yeah. If the cake says 250, you can't bake it at 500. Exactly, Edward. Good answer.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. It's just like the witch doctor is the same like a regular doctor. They're gonna ask you questions, and according to what you say, they're gonna diagnose you what remedy. It's the same like us. We're gonna listen to your problem. We're gonna know if your chakra is off. We're gonna be able to tell if your heart chakra off balance, and we're gonna be like, okay, this is what you should do. And you got to follow instructions so why would you waste time if you're not going to do nothing about it?
Right. And Sister Righteous asked the question, should you get rid of any clothing that belongs to a deceased loved one? Good question.
It depends. Like, you have to emotionally let go. It's okay to save a picture or something they bought for you, but if you're not trying to let go, then you should throw away everything. If you let go emotionally, let them go so they can move on. Because believe it or not, if you're always crying over them, sometimes they stay stuck because they're watching you cry over them. Because we're all connected. So if you're crying over me, I'm not going to want to move on because I'm watching you cry over me every day for like 2 years. Right. So it's okay to feel something, but don't dwell on it for years and years and years, like feeding for them to come back, because it could affect them from moving on. It could affect them because they could see that you're doing that.
That's a good point. I think that was the whole point of Ghost.
Some of them stay around because the person don't want to let go.
Right. He couldn't move on until, Molly was safe and she let go. You know what I mean?
And you have to, and sometimes they want you to forgive them. That's why they stay around. You have, like if they did something to you, they'll stay around and waiting for you to forgive them.
Yeah. I met my father years ago.
Yeah.
And he passed away when I was real young. I think I was like 10 years old, And when I seen him again, he had this look on his face like, this is my adult son. He hadn't seen me as an adult, you know what I mean? So he had this look on his face, and I'm like, I think my dad was here on the astral plane all those years, still stuck here.
Yeah, and you could help them by saying like, I forgive you, you can move on, or so they might not even know they're gone, but there's like a lot of reasons why they'll linger around. Some of them choose to stay around to guide you.
Yeah.
But if you have an ex-boyfriend and things like that, and you're trying to bring in a new energy, you have to get rid of all his stuff, throw everything in the garbage, because the other energy can't come through while you're holding on to the old energy. It's like you release, it's like you open up the energy to come in, a new form of energy. So it is important to let go. That's what this whole thing is about. And this year is about letting go of the 9.
Good point.
That's my life. That's my life path, 9.
Okay.
Letting go.
From what I was taught, in case of someone expiring, to cremate the body and throw the ashes into an ocean. So the disembodied soul no longer has earthly attachments and can graduate out of it. Great point. Yes.
That's a good point. And that's the reason why Azazel requested to be cremated.
Yes.
That was one of the reasons. That was smart, because no attachment to the body. And if you guys was here last week, I mentioned not being addicted. Being addicted is being attached to the body. So that could keep you earthbound too. Like if you're addicted to anything, any addiction. I've never seen somebody happy that's an addict. Never. That's impossible. I mean, ain't no way you happy if you're an addict. So if you're an addict, that also means you're attached to the body. So that could keep you back too. You could be in the bars waiting to get a drink because you're so addicted to liquor.
That's always been a fascinating topic myself. You know,
a lot of these people that get possessed is by people that died already, passed already. It's not no demon. It's actually somebody that died. I mean, that passed away. That's trying to use you as a vessel because they know you're an addict. So you're on the same frequency now.
Yes.
If you're an addict, you're on the same frequency as the lower earthbound spirit.
Right. Azazel Bey even said, too, that when you pass like a cat, you're supposed to cremate the cats, or no, I think he said bury them. You know what I mean? He said because the cats or their pet, you can hear them scratching on the walls or something like that. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
A lot of clients are mentally unbalanced at times. They will ask for unrealistic results. You have to say, oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
For real, like trying to get somebody that don't want their ass. You know what I'm saying? They don't want you. Even if it's like they're not thinking if the person is evil and you get them, right? They're still going to be evil.
Yeah.
They're not going to be nice because you have them now. So if they have a bad character and you forcing them to be with you, they're still going to have a bad character. You're not going to get like an angel.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people realize that, because I've seen people doing magic on people to be with them and they get beat up by the same person.
Right.
They get boxed out of nowhere and they wondering why they get boxed.
Yeah.
That's how he was before. That's why.
Yeah. Unrealistic.
Yeah. Like a lot of people like.
Yeah. They, that's a good point there, because there are people who come to me who have been to other practitioners and never got results. They come to me and then they want all these, they expect results. Like they got, I had somebody tell me, actually, I need some guarantees. But did you ask these other motherfuckers for guarantees? Why are you asking them for guarantees?
Yeah, I've had people tell me, oh, I did another tarot card and they say something else. And I'm like, it's like they're not thinking like every hour your whole path change.
Right.
Every hour you're on a different path, because so if you see a tarot card saying this is gonna happen, if you turn left, it's not gonna happen. So now when you do the tarot card, it's gonna be another reading. Exactly. It's not gonna be the exact thing.
Right.
Because you could change your destiny in a second by changing your mind and going left instead of right.
Exactly.
That's what I noticed. Like, yeah.
A lot of clients are, I read that one. Some are from here. Nature needs no avatar if you let her keep growing. Tree Blood, The Walking Switch. Okay.
Somewhere from here.
All right.
I don't know what
My mom had my dad cremated and took his ashes back to the Caribbean to spread over our house from the village we were from. Okay.
As long as it's burned, they're not going to be attached because they actually witness the whole thing. They watch everything that's going on. When people pass on, they stay at the funeral and see who's coming. They linger around. You know, I would. I want to see all the fake people at my funeral. Yeah, everybody that act like we was cool.
Right. What's up, Tosh? She said she made it. Black Saturn, hell, what's going on? You know. I would make a will and add in the preferred means of body disposal because humans might cause mischief burying the corpse or keeping ashes in an urn because they don't want to let you go. I think most people suffer from that, though.
Yeah, letting go. I'm telling you, that was the most important thing I've ever learned. And that was the reason why I became conscious, because I had to let go of who I thought I was.
Yeah.
I had to let go of my parents. I had to let go of a lot of people and become somebody else, and let go of me perming my hair and be, going with the locks. I had to let go of my high school friends because now they're looking at me like I'm a devil worshiper. I had to, I lost all my friends and I had to let them go. Yeah. All my high school friends, I had to let go. A lot of people have a problem doing that. And you could tell how you are by how your environment look. If you're holding on to clutter, then you have a problem letting go. Like I was telling you earlier, the young lady had mail in her kitchen from like 10, 20 years ago, stacked up.
Yeah, what's the point?
A lot of people do that. They be having clothes that they don't wear for 20 years in their closet, stacked up. And you know, if you want to manifest money, it's important to get rid of the clutter. If you want to bring in money, it's connected. People don't realize your entire reality is connected to how your mind is,
Absolutely.
It's connected. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nature's never abandoned me, and we're supposed to be their ambassador. Come. What are your thoughts on suicide, especially in a ritualistic setting? Oh, good.
From what I've heard, people that do that, they regret it immediately.
Yeah, they gotta come back.
It's like you're gonna regret it immediately. I mean, it makes sense because they realize it from what I've been hearing that they made a mistake, but only when it happened they realize it. Because believe it or not, that's the reason why I became conscious, because I was about to do the same thing. I was about to off myself.
You were?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about this more than one time on the past. I actually, I think I brought it up on one of your show one time, how I became conscious. Yeah. I was about to do it to myself with a bunch of pills. Mind you, I wasn't conscious at that time.
Right.
I was deep in the matrix, deep.
Yeah. And depressed.
I was depressed, and right when I was about to like swallow like a bunch, it was more than 100. I had him. I wrote out letters for my brother, the last notes and everything. Right when I was about to do it, I heard a voice.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why it's like when I heard the voice, my whole reality just changed.
Okay.
It's like I became conscious right there on the spot because the voice said to me, "Sun God."
Sun guide?
Sun God.
Sun God. Wow. Okay.
So I started researching what is sun god, and that's when I got into the Egyptian thing and the Ankh.
Okay.
I started studying. The voice made me study.
Okay.
It's almost like the voice was telling me, "Nah, it's not your time yet." Because I kept asking, "Why am I here? I'm suffering." Ever since I heard that voice say "sun god" and I became conscious, I've never suffered since. My life been smooth ever since 2008. My life been smooth. I'm telling you, no more suffering. And I realized I thought my ego was the real me. That's why.
Interesting.
It's like I died right there on the spot. It's like death is the reason why I'm awake right now.
Okay.
Because I was this close to it.
I mean, you said like over 100 pills, so you was really trying to off yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, I was ready. I wrote letters and everything. letters to my brother, like goodbye letters. And I
Yeah.
laid there, and I was gonna make it be peaceful, like laying on the bed.
Okay.
And then I heard, and I kept saying, "Who am?" I kept saying, "Who am I?" You know, a lot of people wake up when they go through suffering. That's why some people so stubborn. They ain't go through no suffering yet.
Hmm.
They ain't really go through no suffering yet. It's suffering will make you wake up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people never been through nothing. Like,
yeah, I know it's an actual it's a universal law against suicide. To answer that question, it's a universal law.
If I didn't hear that voice, I would have did it. The voice, it wasn't a female or male. It was just a voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my clearer audience got activated because my guides saw me crying and asking questions, and they respond. That's what made me realize that we all have guides. We have guides since at birth walking with us. Mm-hmm. And if you reach out, they'll communicate with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We all have guides. I've seen protection when I astral project around people. They have guides watching over them when they sleep, and I've seen it in the astral realm.
Yes.
Protecting them from me.
But what is that mistake, if I may ask politely?
What mistake?
That mistake.
What was that mistake? That's referring to what?
I think they're asking about the suicide. I think that they're still on that.
What was that mistake?
Yeah. But what is that mistake? Can you clarify what you mean by that?
Clarify.
Yeah. As for suicide, according to Pascal Beverly Randolph, this is an actual universal crime. Exactly. And the soul will remain on this prison planet until it is actually meant to leave. Thank you.
So that tells you right there. When I thought I was supposed to be gone, it wasn't my time.
Right.
So I know the reason why I'm here now because of that. I'm hoping everybody know why they're here. It's very important that you know why you're here. And you're not here to shit, fuck, sleep and die. That's not the reason. Some people think they're here to be a fireman or a policeman. Nah, that's not what you're here for. You're just playing a role. That's not who you are. You're just playing a role.
Right. As a matter of fact, the best book on these questions that y'all are asking, and was the death thing. Pascal Beverly Randolph, I would
drinking some water,
is the actual expert on this. He has a book called Death, the Disembodiment of Man. That is an excellent book. It is an excellent book. Now remember, Pascal Beverly Randolph is the real life Doctor Strange. So take it, for what it's worth, me saying that. Families are the ones who shut us down the most. They don't know we are the chosen ones in the bloodline. We have to let them go. I've been letting my family go. And my family have always considered me. I mean, they've never actually said it, but I know that my family have considered me the weird one. You know what I mean?
I'm a loner. I stopped talking to my entire family. I'm basically on this journey alone, and I'm okay with it. But I'm not lonely though because I could astral project.
Because you can astral project.
I cut off everybody, my mother, my father, everybody. I don't talk for the past 20 years.
Okay.
A lot of people don't have the guts to do that. And that's one of the things you have to master, letting go of people that don't serve you, people that don't care about you, people that
say it again.
Yeah, get rid of people that don't serve you, that don't care about you. Why you have them around talking about they my blood? You know what I mean? Like that don't mean shit.
Yes.
That's not your real family. You had more than one family because you've been here many times. That's not your real mom. She's just a vessel that you used to get here. So why are you so attached to them? They're not your real parents.
Right. Exactly.
If you really think about it, that's not your real kids. They probably older than you. You never know.
That's a hard pill for a lot of people to hear.
That's possible. Your own kids could be 100 or 1,000 years older than you, and they said we picked them.
Yeah.
So So I'm grateful that I chose mine because I would have never been awake right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the soul will have to find alternative means of gathering the intended life lessons, as in without the physical agency, to my knowledge. No, I agree with that.
And mind you guys, when you cross, you have ancestors and relatives waiting for you to escort you. So you're not alone. You're never alone. You have escort waiting for you to escort you to the other side. But some people do not go with them because they're so attached to the earth realm. Instead of going with their ancestors, they will go to people like a medium, like me, because they're only used to humans. The whole time the relative like, yo, I'm right here, let's go. And they like, no, I want to ask Swordz how to help me, because they only attached to the human form. They're not. So they'll ignore the ancestors that's there to help them, and then end up earthbound.
Right.
And you have free will.
Yeah, you do.
They're not gonna force you.
Right. There's a good example of that in the show American Gods, Anubis, and the way that that's real interesting. The Egyptian pantheon has about the dead and the afterlife and everything we're discussing right now.
Because your entire existence is to prepare you for the afterlife. It's not a coincidence when I was about to do it to myself that the voice said sun god. I didn't know what that was at that time. Right. My family Jehovah's Witness.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, my mom's side. My father is in the army. He was in the army. So he's not a Jehovah's Witness, but my mom is. So I grew up in that world, the cult world.
Okay. Speaking of self-unalived, I wonder how that works with the Vikings. Just remember that the Vikings' beliefs is that Valhalla, there's a great hall where Odin resides, and they'll be drinking beer / ale and, celebrating. And their whole existence is to go to Valhalla, to die an honorable death. You know what I mean? They have a very interesting perspective of the afterlife as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I always tell people death is the reason why I'm awake. I know it sounds weird, but I was close to it, and that's why I'm awake. So I embrace it now, because I realized that if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be conscious. As strange as it sounds strange, but if it wasn't for death, I wouldn't be conscious right now, because I was real close to it. I was about to do it, and I was serious. I was serious too.
Okay, so we got to watch it saying the S word, because so that's another word we can't use. They get ridiculous with this shit.
Oh yeah. You're right. Say unalive.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's the word they allow us to say on TikTok too. On TikTok, you can't say the D word.
You can't?
No.
I ain't know that.
Yeah. They banned that word, just like YouTube.
Jesus Christ, man! Instead of
you probably can't say that either. Who knows?
Yeah, instead of self-unaliving. Damn.
Yeah, they want you to say unalive.
I take joy in knowing those who aren't feeling me have to know I'm still alive and kicking and winning. I take real pleasure in it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But my life been smooth ever since. It's like my ego. It's like my ego died. I realized it's like the higher self told me, if you don't want to suffer no more, to surrender. And I'm like, how am I going to surrender? How am I going to eat? How am I going to eat?
Right.
That's the first thing everybody worrying about. How am I going to eat? How am I going to pay rent?
Yeah.
And so it was scary.
Yeah.
Because you following the ego looking at you like, nah, go sell some weed, son. Nah, go do this, yo. Go be a stripper. Let's do that. That's why I'm like, I'm looking at how am I going to survive? So I have to surrender. And it's like, I keep getting like, everything just been smooth. Like out of nowhere, I get like $5,000. Like somebody will send me 4 checks out of nowhere, or somebody. It's like my life been smooth ever since. And so I realized the key is not to be a slave to your desire. Don't be a slave to your desires. Don't be a slave.
Right. Realize there's something greater than out here than sleep, eating, piss, and shit, and then dying.
Yeah. I mean, the being a slave to your lower self. Right. How are you going to get to the higher realm? From the solar plex down is your lower self.
Right.
A lot of people don't pay attention to the heart and the throat chakra and the third eye.
Agreed.
And don't forget, guys, your third eye is connected to your stomach. That's the second brain.
Yes.
That's like the second brain. So you have to have that intuition. That's the reason why I think alkaline helps, because when you clean out the toxin out of you, right? It's okay to eat what you want, but clean out. When I say clean out the toxin, make sure you're taking shit, man. Take mad shit.
Fast.
Flush out this, fast and flush out your system because your stomach is connected to your third eye.
Yes.
The third eye controls the stomach, is not separated.
Right.
The third eye controls the stomach.
You said that the people who take themselves out realize it's an immediate mistake.
Yeah, according to my research, it's like I'm glad I didn't do it. I'm glad I was I was being watched over when that happened to me. I mean,
in his book,
because you realize that you made a mistake as soon as you cross, because you see the whole reason. You realize that you're in 12th grade still. You ain't going to college.
Right.
You're gonna be stuck. But you're gonna always get back to the higher realm no matter what. As long as you work on yourself, you're still learning. So even if you regret it, even if people regret it, they still end up to the higher
dimensions.
Eventually,
right.
No matter who it is, even if the person unalive somebody, they're gonna end up there too, because they're gonna.
Like I said, Black Saturn. I hope that answered your question. But the best book, in my opinion, and according to my research, the best book is Death, the Disembodiment of Man by Pascal Beverly Randolph. People, if you are on my Patreon, I will put that book in the Patreon. But it's a must-have, in my opinion.
It's not a mistake if somebody did it to you, though, because we all got this date where even if it's an accident, like a car accident, that's the day you're supposed to go.
Right.
But if you do it to yourself, that's not the day you're supposed to go. But any other way, no matter how it is, even if it sounds horrible, that's how you said. You actually agreed that, okay, you're gonna off me like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get hit by a truck. You already agreed to that before you got here. You just don't remember.
I remember saying when I was young, I wanted to go out between a woman's legs. That's when I
want to be sleeping. I don't want to feel no. I don't want my arm getting cut off. I don't want to sleep. I want to be sleeping, and then I'm on the other side, like
right, as painless as possible.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna feel nothing. But still, I want it to be like I was sleeping, and then I'm on the other side. Yeah,
right. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah.
And you know how I know what I'm saying? Because when you interact with people that passed, they be glad. They don't be sad. They be happy as hell.
And I often say that. I say,
how many you like what? I've heard people said it.
I've had people. I've told people how many people have come back and expressed how good it is on the other side.
They be looking at you like, I'm not mad. Somebody killed me. I'm happy over here.
Right.
I'm free. I've had people tell me that their relatives told them, stop crying over me, even though I got unalive by somebody else. I'm happy, and they show them how they living.
Right.
Show them in the astral realm. Look, I'm living. And they dressed up in their nice outfit, and they happy.
Mm-hmm.
And people I communicate with that crossed over, they not mad.
They ain't trying to come back here.
But there is some people that get upset, and they're all the ones that's earthbound because they want to pay back. They want revenge. There is spirits like that. They stay behind for revenge.
Right. The fire-breathing dragon had a son in the belly of the beast. Okay. I have dreams where I'm at a long table with me, the whole family talking and eating, and I'm sitting at the head. That sounds a lot like Valhalla, the way the Vikings think about it. You know what I mean?
That sounds like a good dream. I would like that dream.
It does, yes. Death is the orgasm of life, ho drakon, ho megas. Indeed, Azazel Bey has explained this several times, where he say death, or he got it from Pascal Beverly Randolph. He said death is like a constant state of orgasm. Constant, like a constant state. So you nutting or coming, for lack of a better phrase, you coming constantly.
And the word, and that word, people when they hear that word, they're thinking you're not breathing no more.
Right.
If you have a big breakup or a big divorce, that's a form of death.
Yes.
If you had a big divorce and you was with the person 20 years, you basically died, basically.
Basically.
You know what I mean? You don't look at it like you're not breathing anymore. It's like
Right.
When you change career, that's a form of, when you throw away the clothes from your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, that's a form of,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. Indeed. As for warfare, getting killed is not considered a universal crime. War is an aspect of human life, not the same as murder, although both involve killing. Men fight to resolve beef. Okay.
And sometimes in those locations, the emotions will still stay lingering of all that pain and trauma that they went through, and
Right.
the energy will still linger too. It depends on how bad it was.
So this perhaps is not what is commonly considered regarding the Vikings or the samurai, the Spartans, the Templars, martyrs, or Islam, etc. I agree with that, Bobby. I do. Bobby always has some interesting comments. Always. And Dom said he wants to go out that way. Is your cat acting up again? That is your cat? I have recurring dreams of drowning and getting shot every time my gun jams and I get riddled with bullets. Also, remember though, I said it before, but dreams often don't mean it's literal. You know,
and when you see water, in a dream, that it represents your emotion.
Exactly.
How did you feel?
Right.
That's something going on with your emotions, because anything with water is your emotions.
Yeah.
If the water was calm, if the water was rough, that means you're going through a rough time, like with the emotions.
Yes, that's what the death card on the tarot deck means. It's transformation. Yes, it does.
Yeah, people think it means that you're not going, you gone. Nah, death. I just told y'all my form of death. I became somebody else. Now I got locks. I basically, because I went through a form of transformation, like you said, Any kind of a transformation is basically that word.
I know it's like,
annoying.
One of the other things that we didn't get to was like facing your shadow self. Remember we was having that conversation?
Yeah. And I did tell you that we did kind of spoke on that a little bit about the shadow self. And I actually, how I faced my shadow self was mastering my lower self. Because I had a shadow self and it had to do with my sex energy.
Right.
And an example of a shadow self is, for example, like I said, I was sexually abused when I was a young girl, but I didn't know that's what shadow self was. People think shadow self means you acting dark side. Nah, shadow self is your mom slapped you or something when you was 5 and you didn't forgive her. So now you have this hatred towards women, for example. That's
trauma, in other words.
Yeah, like a trauma. So that was my shadow self. But I didn't realize that I had that. I didn't realize it was an issue until I started dabbling into the occult.
Keep talking.
Because when you dabble into the occult, you open up the veil.
Yes.
And you're gonna have to face your demons.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna have to face your demons. So
Selene Capensis can be used how for best results. If you have seen me, I've chewed it. I actually chew the root, the Selene Capensis. It's one of my best resources for having vivid astral travels.
I almost said something in Patois Jamaican, but I know you're not gonna understand what I'm saying.
You can say it anyway.
I was here talk about.
Okay.
I was here talk about. What that Selene
Capensis.
What that, like a root?
It's a root. Yeah.
Okay.
It's African dream root.
There's so many techniques to use, but clean out your system helps, because when your body is fighting all the toxin, it wastes all that energy when you could be using it for your third eye. All the energy goes down to the stomach to get rid of the toxin. So flushing out helps too. Flushing out the toxin, eating alkaline food with real seeds.
Yes.
It helps.
Crystal, right here. Bobby coming with it again. Reports of thee don't injure unless you make them true. From the Rosicrucian Dream book. That's what I got up for. This is an excellent book. Like I said, all of Pascal Beverly Randolph's books, all his information is on point. You know what I mean? And people talk about Crowley, they talk about Blavatsky, Eliphas Levi, but it was actually Pascal Beverly Randolph who they got their information from. You know what I mean? But yeah, exactly. This is an excellent dream book, but get multiple dream books, but have this as a source.
This is another good one too. This is another good one. The Dreamer's Book of the Dead.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It tells you the 13 reasons why people will stay back behind after they cross.
Really?
And one of the reasons is they want to tell you that they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason is they might need your forgiveness.
Okay.
Or they want to forgive you.
Okay.
I've spoken to people where I have to tell them, nah, just forgive her, man. Forgive your mom. You know, so you could help her cross over. Because some people be holding grudges, and when the deadbeat parents pass over,
mm-hmm.
it's like they feel guilty. So they be waiting for the kids to forgive them so they could cross, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And they just want to hear you say, I forgive you, and they could feel better.
And then they can leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some people hold grudge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hope y'all paid attention to what she just said. You know,
yeah,
and in a lot of ways is important to do this, you know, before you cross over. Were you about to say something? But
while everybody is alive, you don't have to talk to people to forgive them. You're doing it for yourself too. You know what I mean? You don't have to be friends with them and to forgive them. You could forgive somebody and not talk to them.
Absolutely. I've done that.
You don't have to talk to the person.
Right.
You're doing it for you because you could get earthbound too from not forgiving them.
I have a cousin I'll never speak to again because of something she did. You know, I've forgiven her. You know, I mean, it is what it is. And everybody who knows me knows my character. But I'll never speak to that bitch again. Ever.
Yeah. You don't got to speak to them.
I don't care that we family. I don't care.
I cut off my parents. Who you know who have the guts to do
exactly.
that? Both parents.
Right.
Both, not just one. Both, the mother and the father, both of them for more than 20 years.
Damn.
And it don't bother me.
That is, and it shouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And when they cross and they want my and they say forgive me, I'm gonna say you're forgiven. You always forgiven.
Right. But leave me alone.
not they choose to leave me alone.
Yeah. Drowning. 1158. To dream of drowning is an open door to gain. Oh wow. Did you know? And I never knew this until recently. Did you know that dreaming of feces is indicative of, I think, money coming in?
I never had no dream like that. That's crazy.
I found that out recently.
How come I never had a dream like I don't think I ever seen that in history. I dream of urine, but not that.
Right, like shitting.
That is crazy. I never had no dream like that.
Yeah, right. Exactly where Bobby said it was.
So I never had a dream like that.
Dream of drowning is an open door to gain. This book is a gem, y'all, and it's right there on Amazon.
You know what's crazy about what you said too? Let me see the book. Put it up again. And guys, this is the book I'm talking about. The Dreamer's Book of the. It tells you why they come back calling. It tells you the reason why they'll come back calling. Sometimes they need guidance from us. Sometimes they need you to guide them.
Right.
Because the guys that they have on the other side, they're ignoring. So they'll come to a human for guide, like a medium, somebody that's open, not judgmental. Mm-hmm. They're not going to go to you if you're judgmental. They're going to go to whoever they think is more open.
Yes. The Azazel book is already available, you know. You just have to, I can't do it through Patreon because they still have not given me an answer about how I violated their, what do they call it? They call it I violated the they said the book has it violated their community standards or
something to do with the book, right?
Yeah, I'm like, what could possibly...
You know what? You probably could do a book club on Zoom instead. They don't mess with you.
I think the best thing that I've made, just contact me. I'm very available. Just contact me. I'll make it available to you. Just pay me that way. You know what I'm saying? Instead of using their platform. But it's available already. And because it will be available soon.
Energy is all about energy exchange.
Yes. It's
That's
hard
all.
for me to forgive due to the severity of my spirit. I can't stand mediocrity.
But believe it or not, you're gonna have to either now or when you're on the other side, you can't escape that part. You're gonna have to, one way or the other. Trust me, there's no escape from stuff like that. I'm telling you.
Yes.
You have to do it regardless, even if you don't want to. You have to.
With having recurring
at the end of the day.
Yes, ma'am. And I also have a situation. There's a lesson in the dreams. The dreamer, exactly. The dreamer has not yet mastered when awake. So it's a topic of discussion in your night school. Again, Bobby always coming with the great statements that he comes with. What's up?
That's what the dream is for. That's why it's so important to remember, because the dream is telling you what your issue is. It's telling you who not to hang out with.
Exactly.
It's telling you if you have the wrong partner. The dream is giving you all the information that the guy's always trying to communicate to you through the dream realm.
The life
lesson. If you don't listen, somebody is gonna be a stranger like me or Magic telling you something that, you know, they use us as vessel too. It could be a bum telling you what to do and you thinking it's just a bum on the street.
Right.
That's how they communicate.
Is dreaming of food or eating an indicator of witchcraft or contracts?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so.
What do you think? So
I think it's good when I'm eating.
You eat a lot, right?
I love food, yo. I think it's good when people offer me food in the dream realm. What? Yeah, because I don't think that's a bad thing.
Eating, 740. Let's look. 740 says eating. It says 740 eating is indifferent, but suggests you're quite insane.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's what it says.
Crazy.
Eating is indifferent, but suggests you're quite insane.
And that's about dreaming that you're eating?
Yeah, it says eating.
That's weird.
Yeah. That's why I say get a couple different.
Because I have books. I would say something else. Because remember, in my opinion, right, even though Azazel didn't mention that, I think that we're all individual and our life is not the same. So the dream gonna mean something else. It's not gonna be the same meaning for you than for me.
Subjective.
Like a dog might mean something. If you scared a dog and you dream dog, it's gonna be a different meaning from somebody that love dog.
Right.
If you when I see snake in my dream, that's a good thing. But some people will think that's negative.
Yeah.
But I love snake in real life. I like snakes. I'm not scared of them.
Right.
But when I dream about snake, I don't think it's negative.
Right. The lesson might not be expressed in words. The communication is done with archetypes, which form the dimensions of your dream, like a VR simulation.
Yeah,
everything that you see throughout the day, everything that your subconscious picks up, plays it back for you when you sleep. You know what I mean? But in a different language. All right. Images are the language of the subconscious mind. It's not literal. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's symbolic. Like if you see water, it don't mean literal water. It means your emotion, for example.
Right.
Emotions is like the water. So look at the ocean. Is the ocean too rough? Is the ocean calm? That tells you how your emotions are in this realm. I mean,
yes.
I
rock with the Dream Singers, the African American Way with Dreams by Anthony Shafton. Have many dream books. Never even heard of that one. Have you heard of that one? Have you heard of that book? The African American Way.
Oh, no. Never heard of that book.
Yeah, I never heard that one. You know, I'll look into that. What's up, Lloyd? How much Selene capensis should I chew, and should I swallow the root or toss it? That's completely up to you. I have found that it only takes a little bit to affect your dream. You know what I mean? To have a vivid dream. But I do it like I take a small bite. I swallow it because it's not going to hurt you. You know?
I would swallow it, smoke it, drink it. I'll do everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like that with the mugwort. I smoke it like it's a spliff.
Yeah, because these herbs, these roots, they're not going to hurt you. So I swallow it. You know, you could toss it. You're going to have to do some experimentation to find out what works.
That's the best way. Try different things and try not to eat too much food because the body uses a lot of energy. 60% of your energy is directed on the food.
Right.
when you eat, so it's good when your stomach is empty, so you could use all that energy to remember and to have lucid dream. You need energy for all of that.
So don't eat before you go to sleep. I
never do. I always eat before 8 o'clock. I already eat my dinner before 7 sometimes. Like not past 8 or 9. I don't go past 8 or 9.
After my drowning dreams, I've gradually gained more empathy and I feel music on a deeper level. Okay, what's up, Matrix? That's what's up. You know?
You probably overcome something.
Yes. Peace, the real self-domain. What's up? It's okay, righteous. We all float down here. Reference to It, the Stephen King. I always tell people symbols are relative to who you are and your programming. Indeed, agreed.
And spirits communicate through symbols too. They don't speak English.
Right.
English is a man-made thing, you know.
That's what I say. I say the way spirits usually communicate is through your dreams. That's their realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's always some symbol. It's never a literal.
Right. Exactly.
It's always a symbol. You got to decode the symbol.
Yes. I also used for years the Obia Bible by L.W.D. Lawrence. At the back of the book, there's a dream interpretations I have found. Yes, that's another good book. Like anyone who's a hoodooist or just an occultist in general should have that particular book. It is banned. I think it's still banned in Jamaica. It's still banned in Jamaica. Yeah. Hoodooists use this, but this book,
because Jamaica got the most church in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know why?
Yeah.
Because they're trying to keep everybody dumbed down over there.
Exactly.
They have the most church in the world. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
In the world.
In the world.
It's not even a big island. It's crazy.
Yeah. Smoke mugwort? Yes. People smoke.
Yeah, you can smoke it. Yeah, I smoke it.
I don't know about wormwood. Do you know, Swordz?
No, I don't. I never use wormwood. I use the mugwort and a bunch of other stuff in the kitchen.
Yeah. Eat before. What about smoking mugwort? You're gonna have to experiment. I don't know about mullein either.
But mullein is it cleans out your system too. That's actually good for your lungs. So I think that's a good combination.
Right.
Because I use mullein mixed with my chlorophyll.
Yeah, it's good. Like if you have respiratory issues.
That's how I keep my lungs healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With the mullein, mixed with chlorophyll liquid. But I think that's a experiment, or you can do it by yourself, or you can mix it with with other herbs. I forgot the name of it right now.
Yeah. Make some cocktails. You know what I mean? Y'all saying some good stuff here, but you're gonna have to.
They're gonna do one to you if you experiment.
Yeah, you're gonna have to experiment. I have warlike dreams. I've beaten Dracula, the police, a spider-like giant, and killed a zombie with an energy sword.
Yeah, what you be going through?
Right. I was getting ready to ask that same thing.
You must be going through mad shit.
Yeah, right.
Bobby, you gotta cut off some of them people, man. Cut off some of them people you were around, yo. Who's hanging out with you?
I have more fun in my dreams than tell me about it. I can fly, I can do by location, heal from here. Oh, damn.
Yeah, you get all the practice because you're gonna need it when you cross. Get all the practice.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Mullein, gets rid of mucus. Very, very good.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that you should keep stocked.
I think everybody should have that because I'm telling you, because that keep my lungs clear.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm telling you, especially when you mix it with chlorophyll. Oh man, it keeps your lungs clear from mucus and.
Peace. Guru Wiz finally caught alive.
What's up?
I tried wormwood with black walnut. Very, very bitter, but it clears you out.
You gotta flush out the toxin because the body uses a lot of energy to break down toxin out the system. Yeah. And the third eye is connected to the stomach. That's like your second brain. So if you want your third eye to be more clear, focus on the stomach too. It's connected.
Yes.
Second brain.
Indeed.
They call it the second brain, the solar plex. It makes you have more courage too if you keep that solar plex.
Indeed.
Balance.
All right. This was a great live. Again, we always have a fun with the Queen of Swords. Did you have any closing suggestions or words of wisdom?
My words of wisdom is keep enjoying your life no matter what. Just don't be an addict. It's okay to have fun. You get old when you stop playing. You don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. So
right. And as serious as I may seem, I'm really goofy. You know what I mean? I'm really fucking goofy and shit. I find humor in everything. I go to sleep to like Family Guy and American Dad, and I like laughing. You know what I mean? I like to think it keeps me young. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, keep the heart, because I'm almost 50. You know, keep the heart chakra light like a feather.
Yes, and I'm past 50, so
I'm not there yet, but I'm close.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Of course, she will be back sometime. That is the incredible Queen of Swords. I'd like to thank all of y'all for hanging out with us and interacting with us. Y'all, gave some very good questions today. I'll be back next week. Queen of Swords will be back sometimes. Y'all know that's my partner in crime. I'm the one and only Magick LaQuai, Queen of Swords. We see y'all next time.
Stop bitching, start witching.
There you go. Peace, y'all.
Guys.